Oh no! Good morning and magandang umaga from the Philippines. In the next few weeks, it's going to be a mess in here, inside the house, because of the renovation that we're doing. We're replacing the floor. This week we're doing the floors inside the house. This is the part that we didn't do last year. If you saw the vlogs from last year, we did the home renovation, but we didn't do the floor. So this week and the following weeks we'll be replacing the floor tiles inside the house. So this is the old floor that we have. It's been here for almost 10 years now, and there's a lot of damage already, cracks. And that's the new one that's being installed. So this is the tile that we're using for the floor. It's wholesale tiles, and it's this Craco grates. We have this adhesive. I think to mix it with the cement. So to do this, we hired some workers. Some of them are actually from last year, and I'm gonna talk to you about. This is probably a word that you're familiar with. If you're familiar with the construction in the Philippines, the word is Pakyawan. What is Pakyawan? Ano ba Pakyawan? So Pakyaw, direct translation would be wholesale. So the word Pakyawan basically refers to an informal agreement between you and your workers, the workers that you're gonna hire. It could be a group of people. So it's an informal agreement between you and the workers, so that you pay them a certain amount of money for the scope of work in a certain amount of time. So basically, it's informal. So sa Philippines, maraming informal agreement. You know, you don't need these types of contracts wherein you get quotes from different suppliers and then you compare them and blah blah blah. But in the Philippines, there's a lot of informal agreements, especially if you trust. One of the things that you have to remember when you do this is you have to really trust the person or the group of people. Like us, for example, we did the home construction last year, and we know these people already, so we trust them, and we like the work that they did from last year for the home constructions. So that's the reason why we hire them again.
Wala may spacer.
Spacer.
Nandun na sa balding itim kanina.
Joseph, pa-vlog ulit kita.
Na naman.
Yun naman. In Pakyawan, the foreman or the leader of the group, the men working, they're gonna bill you weekly for the accomplishment of their job. And this could be labor and materials, or labor only. In our case, I took care of the materials. I bought the tiles from All Home, and then we paid the labor. This living room. So adhesive lang siya. Adhesive lang.
Simento.
And cement. Tapos last na yung ground. Last na yun.
Bukas pa po. At least na naman ako.
Ano na, progress report natin. Nakakailang tiles ka na.
Sana araw-araw ganito.
Sarap, hindi mo pa nga natitikman eh.
Yung yan.
Sige.
Okay.
So Nana is trying the burger too.
Wen, sarap! Sana araw-araw mag-deliver ka.
Masarap, natikman mo na ba? Hindi pa naman eh. Tikman mo muna. Ano, Joseph? Anong lasa?
Sarap, inihaw.
Sarap pa.
Inihaw, no?
Mas
Pero
masarap,
pag ka na kumain nito, sa akin na lang ha.
mas masarap pa ba sa Jollibee?
Hindi pa ako nakakatikim ng ano sa Jollibee.
So I got a work estimate from the workers, and everything should be done. Everything should be completed in about a month. So that's an estimate of 1 week for each room, 1 week for the kitchen and the dining area, another week for the living area, for the living room, and there are 2 bedrooms. So that's another 2 weeks. So an estimate of 1 month, and everything will be completed. In the Philippines, it's common to have what is called a dirty kitchen, which is actually a secondary kitchen that you use outside of the house. Okay, this is the rest of the living room. Goodbye, old tiles. So, what do you think of the new tiles? The floor is almost ready. Ginger? Hey. Do you like the new floor? At this point, we're done with the living room and the dining and kitchen. So bedroom's done. We just need to put the grout here, and should be good. So at this point, we found out that there was no adhesive from the previous job. That's why it was so easy to remove the old tiles. Ang bilis. Ang galing ha. Si Gilbert pala. Welcome back, Gilbert. Hello, Gilbert.
Ang tagal mong nawala.
Kasama natin si Gilbert noon nung nag-replace tayo ng tiles sa garage. Diba? Ano pina-follow natin? Itong tile?
Yung dulo.
Itong tile na to?
Hindi yan. Sige ba?
Sige, hindi pa.
Ay, hindi. That's fine na.
Ah.
Kunti pa.
Ha?
Kunti pa.
Yan.
Oops, yan.
Yan na.
Alright. Liquid na colored. No? Kailangan may kulay, no? So, ginamit natin konting soy sauce.
Salita. Hindi aabot sa kabila eh.
So, para saan yun, Joseph? Patay mo
Para
lang.
sa libilasyon natin.
Para ano?
Sa libil.
Ah, para ma-level. Okay.
Oo, daspan. Atong.
And this is the last room that they're working on. This is my mom's room. A little bigger than my room, but this is the last room, so we're almost done. We're almost done with the project, but let me remind you again that Pakyawan is not for, I wouldn't recommend Pakyawan if you have a bigger project, like for example, building a new house. is building a new house, I would recommend you just or a contractor to do that for you. Maybe get some quotes from different contractors and then compare them, because building a new house is bigger and more complex project, and I wouldn't recommend Pakyawan for that. But for smaller projects, for example, like what we're doing, Pakyawan works, but you have to consider different factors. Like, as I mentioned earlier, you have to trust the person, or you have to trust the people that you're gonna work with, and that's the most important thing that you need to consider. In our case, we worked with them last year, so we really trust them and we really like the work that they did.
Hello, Joseph. Last day na ba?
Last day.
Last day na. Ilang tiles na lang? Dalawa?
Mga maliliit na. Tapos siya.
We are done with the project, guys. The floor tiles have been replaced. You know, I show it to you.